Welcome to HDPP Live on a Saturday night to the UK and around the world with photos, memories and friends. This is HDPP Live. How are you this evening? Are you all well?
Hinckley District has the present for you, meeting friends old and new. Streaming Wednesdays and Saturdays too, with founder members Paul and Sue. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP. Photos, memories, and friends helps a dreary night go by. Wearing Hinckley's 6 of the best, stupendous quizzical high. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Let's take you back in time. A community affair. We'll take you for a ride. Henson's Cab will take you there. We're making history. HDPP, chapter of causes. History supporting local causes. Streaming HDPP live. Betty is our queen bee. The sweetest honey candy. Dangerous Den here again. HDPP live. Hey, you know we keep it in HDPP.
And there they go, off into the sunset once more, and oh my word, good evening, hello, welcome to HDPP Live. I know, contain yourselves, calm down dear, it's just the podcast. Yes, here we are in May, jolly May it is, and just so you know, we're going to run this till the end of May, not now, but we're going to run till the end of May. Then we're going to have a summer break and then come back early September. So I'm just giving you warning now. That's how it's going to be. So we've still got, including tonight's program, we've still got 4 to go, but. I thought, yes, it's time I put you out your misery and told you can get on with better things on a Sunday night. So we'll be taking off June, July and August. Means I can get a holiday in somewhere. And then join you back in September, early September. But like I say, that's at the end of this month. Anyway, lovely to see you all this evening. Hope you've all enjoyed being in Gin and had some lovely sunshine. Wow, what a change, what a change. Lovely today. Yesterday was a gorgeous day too. Really nice, just makes you feel so much better. And it's nice to have the doors and the windows open and stuff, and you start fly squatting and things like that. Yeah, we've had the... How many of you have had that first big fly that comes in? Oh, bloody hell, there's a fly in there. Yeah. We've all done it. Come on, let's face it. I was saying I've opened the door, the flies are waiting to come in. Oh dear. Yeah, that happened to us earlier on today, actually. But it was just funny. Anyway, I'm scrolling through the old chat room. You can see here on this side. Yes, I even getting used to which side to point now, which is good. Anne Hunt was first in this evening. Hello, Anne. Nice to know that you're there and with us in Wall, down there near Weston-super-Mare, of course. Pat Galloway's. Hello, Pat with a cooey. Nice to know you're okay, mate. By the way, and if this is your first time that you've tuned in, because I always put the post on Facebook and stuff and whatnot, and I've said, look, there's lots of rubbish on the TV tonight. Why don't you come and watch some local rubbish? It's just the same thing. And if you have, say hello in the chat room. That'd be nice. Annabelle's here, of course, with a cooey, and even Kit has got in on the act tonight. Yes, get in there. That means she must have found it first time. Yeah. David Allen from Boston in Lincolnshire is here, wishing everybody a good evening. As is Dave B has come in. Nice one, Dave. Hope you got your anagram brain fixed in tonight. You're going to need it. Kevin Bees is here. Hi, Kevin. Nice to know you there. And also, Queen Bee has joined us, which is always nice to have Queen Bee on there. Matron's in. Matron, yeah, she's in charge of all those sort of things. So Queen Bee's here. Russet's here. Says, I've been having difficulty getting on the big screen. Try a chair. It's much better, more comfortable. Sorry, couldn't resist that one. Yeah, I know what you mean. Russet, bless you. Okay, also, Carol Beasley is back. Carol is back, ladies and gentlemen. She went down Devon way, if I remember right, but she's back tonight, Carol. It's always nice to have you back here with us, because we do miss you. No talking about Carol, by the way, while she's back. Okay, also, good evening to Jeff and Anna. Jeff, who we sat with yesterday, enjoying a nice drink at lunchtime. Jeff in Brigg and Anna in Hinckley. Yeah, I thought that said Anna in IKEA for a minute there, Jeff. I ought to go to Specsavers, yeah. Kay Norton's here. Hi, Kay. And lovely little Jane Brown is here as well. Jane, I'm glad that you're back with us as well. Lovely. And Tim's with you, and hopefully he's looking after you too. And she does appreciate all your good wishes from last week, because I did say that we were thinking about you, Jane, because she was in hospital, but it's always nice to be home, isn't it? I totally get that. So welcome to the fold. Welcome to the fold. Dangerous Den is here again. I put out a word saying I thought Dangerous Den had nodded off. Yeah, he's had quite a busy few days. He's been doing a lot of scanning. I spent Friday morning with Dangerous Den. Ooh, it was dangerous. Showing him how to get on with his scanner and stuff, and we made things in a more simple way for him. And anyway, so he said he was going to spend a lot of time scanning, and he's done so. And he said it's worked really, really well. Dennis, it's my pleasure to help, mate. Thank you very much indeed. But he just claimed that his wall clock is a bit slow. Okay, all right then. Yeah, it's pouring with rain, by the way, by Weston-super-Mare. That's the latest forecast I can give you. We've had it lovely here today. In fact, quite a lot of the south has been a dull day and wet in places. We've had it lovely here. It's been beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. Okay. Also, David S. is here. Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave. Nice that you've made it with us tonight. The crops are here. We always know we can start when the crops are here. It's treading water till I see that the crops have come in, you see. Then I know I can get on with the programme. Right, so nice one that you're here, Alan, as well. Carol Beasley says, I can't promise to stay a week. I've had a G&T and a glass of wine. I know the feeling, though. You think, oh, but it's nice to be chilled, isn't it? You're sitting there, I'm nice and comfortable. I'm in my own place. Got me a drink or whatever, your favourite tipple, and yeah, you can't beat that. You really, really can't. Oh, Russ, it's, hey, finally got you on the big screen. Oh, look at the room in here. Wow, Russet, I didn't know it was this big. God, blimey. Yeah, lovely. Thank you. Right, okay then. Well, all the regular features for a Sunday evening, including 6 of the best, of course. We'll be testing your general knowledge, your local knowledge, your anagram knowledge, and TV knowledge. Yeah, I know, we do it all. Yes, all free of charge. And we've got a nosy, a new nosy from Steve a little bit later on. We'll be looking at Hinckley Sunday School treats. That's what we're going to be looking at this evening, because we're getting into that sort of time of year again, when the treats around the town would be very much part of the thing ongoing. which gives me a little chance to plug one of our DVDs called Here Comes Summer. And that DVD has got, I think it's at least 4 titles on. One with the treats, the carnivals, St. Peter's Barbecue, the Steam Engine Rally, and it's all on there. And you can get your copy from Jasper's Hinckley. So I thought, if I don't show you the treats soon, we're going to, I'll be off air for 3 months, so I might as well get it squeezed in tonight. So we'll be doing that. But before we do, we have got 6 of the best. Now, this is the part of the programme where, indeed, we test the best of your head. And it's very dull. But however, if you want to have a go, remember, do not put the answers in the chat room, not until the end of the programme when we ask you to total up your answers and give us your scores, okay? But wait for that. I have to give plenty of warning for Dennis because he starts getting trigger happy on his keyboard. Don't you, Dennis? Yes. Very keyboard happy does our Den get. Right, so if you are ready for 6 of the best, which reminds me, doesn't look like Mr. Smuggler's in. Yeah. Interesting. Right, okay then. Obviously started on his book. Anyway, we're going to move on with 6 of the best. Don't put your answers until the end of the programme, and we will see. We will see how we do. So, let's start with question 1. Okay then, for you that live local, I appreciate some of you don't live local, but this guy's a bit of a legend. The name of the hot dog man who was in Hinckley Town Centre through the 60s to the 80s. He was everywhere, was the hot dog man. We've spoke about him many, many times on the group, of course. And you could find him outside the Danilo. Then you'd find him outside the Duke of Rutland. Then he'd be somewhere in the borough, all on the Friday and Saturday nights. And let's face it, you've had a few beers, you come out and you smelt those onions and you know you've got to have a hot dog. You just know you've got to have one of them because they smell absolutely gorgeous. And he used to be in this little van and he got his little transistor radio in there. Remember him? But what was his name? It's easy for some of us, I appreciate. But this guy was a legend because he was always there. Okay, so that is question 1. Name of the hot dog man who was in Hinckley Town Centre through the 60s to the 80s. Incidentally, Mrs. G got this straight away. And she's been getting them right just lately, so I'm making these questions far too easy. So, let's see how we go as we go through this evening. So that's that. And even David Blow, David, I know you left Hinckley in the early 70s, but this guy was about. You must have seen him. You've got to have seen him, okay? Right, moving on. Question number 2. Here we go. How many months of the year have 28 days in them? That's question number 2 of general knowledge. How many months of the year have 28 days in them? Good. Next question. I'm rattling through these tonight, aren't I? Next question. This is a BBC TV series of the late 80s, early 90s. Dave B said, I do remember him. Well, come on then. You know where we are. This was a TV series of the late 80s, early 90s. Mrs. G got this straight away. I could have leapt across the table and say, how? Yeah, it was a very... Now, if you fill in all those dashes, it's pretty easy, I suppose, looking at it. I just thought I was being clever at the time. Yes, find the TV series. We will show you this in a few moments' time. Fill those dashes in with letters, and you will have the title of a very, very popular TV series that ran on the BBC, late 80s, early 90s it was. And yeah, very, very well known. So that is question number 3. Now, question number 4. Jeff, I promise you a stinker. Tonight is the stinker. Anybody know what the theme tune to this TV programme is? Oh, it comes on heavy. Here we go. Do you know it? Da 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 da. And even now you're thinking, oh, I know that. What was it from? And there we go. What was the name of that TV theme. Stop it now, otherwise I'll get cut off. Well, Jeff Wallace says, got it. Jeff, you're annoying me now. I thought that would be a bit of a stinker. Keep it to yourself then, matey. Well done if you've got that. If anybody wants a clue, I might give a clue to that one a little bit later on in the programme. Okay then, so that's Guess the Theme Tune. Moving on to our next question. Name these two TV personalities. These both covered the Apollo moon landings for the BBC. Can you remember? Yeah. Now, Mrs. G got one straight off, and then for the other one, she was thinking, but anyway, she did get it in the end. These two gentlemen presented Man Landing on the Moon back in the 1960s and into the 70s. Two very, very good presenters of the time. Yeah, but what's the names? I know, and you're going, oh, that's what's his face? You know, thingamajig, you know. Yeah. There you go. What are those two gentlemen's names that were presented the moon landings in the late 60s and into the 70s for the BBC? Great presenters. And sadly, one of them not with us anymore. The other one's still very much with us, which is nice to know. I did a bit of checking up earlier on. Well done. And the anagram question. Leave it on the screen just a few moments' time. Abstracted footwork segmente. Yeah. This is some of the town's oldest heritage. That's the clue, gives it away. I think a lot of people tonight are going to get at least 5 out of 6 tonight at the very least. Let's see how you do. Abstracted footwork segmente. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing no other woohoo for. It just sounds posh at the end, that segmente. Some of the town's oldest heritage. Yeah, well, there you go. Say no more, really. So let's quickly go through those lovely questions one more time. I want, in question 1, name of the hot dog man who was in Hinckley Town Centre. Everybody knew his name, actually. And do you? Yeah, hold on. Alan Cropp says, 5? Don't be silly. Right, question number 2. How many months of the year have 28 days in them? Think about that. And question 3, the BBC TV series of the late 80s, early 90s. Fill in those dish dashes, and there you will find the tittle. Okay. Good. There you go. I think you've got that down long enough. Okay, we will move on in 3, 2, 1. And I'm saying, what is this the theme tune to? I remember it so well on the TV, but can you? Now, I do have a bit of a clue lined up for next part in case you're struggling with that. Now, I do appreciate some of my viewers probably wasn't hardly born when this was on the TV, but it was also the platform to the launch of a very stylish actor, let's put it that way. Okay, so there we have it. That's your Guess the Old theme tune for tonight. Okay, we move on. Let me just stop that. There we go. Name these two TV personalities that presented the BBC of Man Landing on the Moon. I remember those programs. I'd sit and watch them for hours. Just find it absolutely fascinating. You know, as it was happening. Brilliant stuff. What are their names? And finally, we get on to, yes, the anagram. Abstracted footwork segmente. Rearrange that from the anagram, and you'll find some of the town's oldest heritage will be in that tittle. There we go. So you've got all night to have a little look at that and work on it while we get on with our features tonight. Right, we've got a nice feature. It's all right. Someone's just dropped the teeth. You picked him up. Yeah, they've got all fluff on them now. Right, we're going to get on with our first feature. I promised you, not only have we got a nosy later, our local feature is the Sunday School Treats. We've shown this before. It's been a little while ago, actually, so it's going to be nice to show it again. If you haven't got the copy of the DVD that HDPP produced, you can get yours from Jasper's, and if you want it on USB stick, we can do that too, because we're clever like that. So settle back. I've got to make sure I press the right button. Here's my cue sheet. I've got my cue sheet here. Right, I've got to press that button. Right, I'm ready. Settle back and enjoy the backstory and the history to the Sunday School Treats.
Thousands of local people were recalled taking part in the annual treats procession in Hinckley each July. Thousands more will recall even watching the procession as it passed by. In 1990, when the last treats procession wended its way around the town, there came to an end a tradition that had endured for 140 years. On that occasion, when only 100 people from the nonconformist churches and chapels took to the streets of Hinckley in a display of their faith, the death knell was being sounded for this tradition. In former days, indeed in the very heydays of this highlight of the Hinckley year, some 2,000 to 3,000 people would take part in the parade around the town, and the pavements would be thronged with people who had come to watch the spectacle. I would watch my cousins take part in the procession from the same spot each year, just outside Derby Road Post Office. What was the treats procession then, and how did it come to have such an important part of the town's life? The answer lies in the growth and the strength of the Sunday school movement. Sunday schools were first opened in the 1750s, but it was not until 1797 that a Mr. Charles Parson and a Mr. Privy opened a Sunday or Sabbath school connected with the Baptist cause. In 1798, the Independent Chapel in Stockwell Head, later to become the United Reformed Church in the borough, opened a Sunday school. The Anglicans had their own Sunday school, sometimes known as national schools. Indeed, the current buildings of St Mary's Primary School in the centre of town started life as buildings for a Sunday school. The Sunday school associated with the Great Meeting Chapel was founded in 1812. The schools were meant primarily for religious education and instruction, but they were also a place where the children of the town learnt to read and write. After all, reading, writing and spelling were essential to then go on and study the Bible and Holy Scripture. Large boards with letters of the alphabet would be placed in prominent positions around the rooms where the instruction took place. From the early 1850s, the combined Sunday schools in the town started to take to the streets once a year in procession, in which Sunday school banners led the various groups around a circuit of the town, stopping at various places for prayers, worship and the singing of hymns. Over the years, the procession developed into each school providing a tableau, usually a biblical scene brought to life, and with the tableau being depicted on the back of a cart pulled by a horse, and then of course later mechanised transport on the back of lorries provided by local hauliers. These tableaux were veritable works of art. Interspersed between these tableaux and banners would be walkers from each Sunday school, carrying handheld placards, proclaiming such faith as, "Our lads for God, joy to the world, these shall be mine. Let us not be weary in well-doing. The Lord God made them all. Thy word is like a garden, Lord," and extolling such Christian virtues as righteousness, truth, and honesty. There will be long garlands and ribbons with plenty of space for many little hands to support them and carry them. Mothers and babies in prams would accompany the school walkers, probably to keep an eye on the slightly older and potentially mischievous older ones. The prams themselves would be bedecked with ribbons and their wheels decorated with bright coloured tissue. Providing the musical accompaniment en route would be marching bands, like the Salvation Army and the Burbage Silver Prize Band. The route could vary, but from a pamphlet of 1854 from the United Reformed Church, we are able to trace those early routes taken by the processions. They started in Bond Street, then the Borough, then on to the Marketplace, and then to the Horsepool, which was in Castle Street. At each place the procession would stop and there would be prayers and a couple of hymns. In later years the procession would gather in Regent Street and go around the town via Lancaster Road, Station Road, Castle Street, New Buildings, Derby Road, Upper Bond Street and back to the borough. The tableaux were usually put together at the various chapels and were then driven to be lined up in George Street and directed into the procession at regular intervals by the stewards in order that they could join their appropriate Sunday schools. The lorries had to travel very slowly as the people on the tableau had no way of securing themselves, all very precarious. At the end of the procession, the scholars will return to their various chapels and their schoolrooms for a tea, and would then proceed to one of the open spaces in the town for games and prizes. Over the years, places like the gardens of Middlefield House, Sketchley Grange and the fields of Mill Hill Farm, which is now the Hollycroft Estate, and then later Queen's Park, were used for the games. There are many local photos and even old cinefilm of the treats that record for us the atmosphere and the spirit of the parades. In more recent years, the procession usually took place on the first Saturday or Sunday in July. Consequently, the weather was usually good, although the weather, of course, could never be guaranteed. For instance, the weather on Saturday 1st of July 1916 completely spoilt the festivities. At the time of the assembly for the procession, which was 1:30, the dull, overcast sky of the morning changed to a heavy downpour, and the procession was postponed until 3 o'clock. Conditions had not improved, so a later start was declared and tea taken early. In brighter weather at 5 p.m, the procession of 2,500 children finally started off. The games were postponed until the Monday evening. Little were the participants aware of the catastrophic events taking place in the battlefields of the Somme in France on that very same day. The tableaux that were created by the various Sunday schools gave the opportunity for the young people to dress up, and for many weeks prior to the procession, work would be feverishly taking place in chapels and homes across the town, preparing the costumes and building and painting the tableau. The Saturday morning of the parade would have been all hands to the pump to get everything ready and in place. There could, of course, be little dramas. At one float dressing, called Jesus is the Light of the World, the main character was nowhere to be seen, with just minutes and seconds left before the off. One organiser was overheard to say, "Cancel the world, Jesus hasn't turned up." Pictures from the 1983 show that by that time St Peter's Roman Catholic Church were taking part, and that brownies groups and mums and toddlers groups associated with the churches and chapels were also taking part. Several members of the Great Meeting Chapel recorded their reminiscences of the treats in the Hinckley Historian, the house magazine of Hinckley and District Museum. Ladies like Mary Musson, Pat Oliver, Thelma Crofts and Avril Matty recalled the days when, although not part of the local Sunday Schools Union, the Great Meeting Sunday School always walked, never the first and never the last, always with their own band, the Burbage Silver Prize Band. "We had that band for 80 years or longer," they said. The girls wore white dresses and the boys wore short trousers. Many of the girls wore hats. They did not join the others for the sports afterwards. They had their own sports at the Outwoods, along London Road, and they'd also met at Leicester Grange, then the home of a leading member of their congregation, Mr. Hugh Atkins. At this latter place, from 1894 to 1896, balloon ascents were arranged. There was even dancing, considered by many to be an evil distraction. The Great Meeting from around 1960 also used its own graveyard. The stones had been moved, and they used it for their sports, so it was all very self-contained. When people are asked about the treats, they often recall the hot weather, because the procession took place at the beginning of July. The children who were walking around would be dressed in their Sunday best, often having had new clothes bought for them. Paul Gardner of Hinckley District, past and present, remembers the rubber soles of his new sandals sticking to the tarmac of the roads, which had heated up in the very clement weather. In the middle of the 1970s, there was a split between some of the chapels in the town and the local Sunday School Union. The latter didn't want to parade anymore. The Church of Christ, St Peter's Roman Catholic Church, Burbage Congregation and the Great Meeting vowed to continue. Then the Scouts and the Guides of Albert Road Methodists came back into the fold, as well as St Francis's Guides. Consequently, I can remember depicting Jesus on a Roman Catholic float, wearing a dark wig, beard and flowing cloak. I was following in my grandfather's and cousin's footsteps, who as members of the Methodist Chapel had not only walked in the parade, but in the case of my granddad, had produced tableaux for the Methodist mission in Wykin some 20 years before. So an estimated guess may be that there were 3 or 4 generations of our family that have taken part in the treats. And we are not unique. This was the same for many families in the town. So as we look back on different times, why was it that the treats was eventually discontinued? Well, Mary Musson of the Great Meeting Chapel, retiring after being a Sunday school teacher for 60 years, felt that she had the answer. Drawing on her first-hand experience, she felt that sport and television had done for interest and attendance at Sunday school, and therefore the willingness to take part in an annual procession had faded away. Add to this the disappearance of the marching bands that were once such an integral part of these processions. One can say that the writing was truly on the wall for the treats. Thus, the marching banners and the ribbons have been laid up and have become museum pieces. Thankfully, though, we have photographic and film evidence that documents what was once one of the most eagerly awaited events in the town's public calendar.
I forgot how good that was. And that's the truth. It's been a while since I played that particular thing. Lovely to see. I forgot some of the pictures, all part of the HDPP archive as well. Quite a lot of them are. And to see that, well, yeah, it was a good little production, that. My thanks to Greg Droach, of course, who does most of the hard work on that. I just have to sit and put it all together with pictures and music and stuff. But great memories of the treats. And yes, I do remember my sandals sticking to the tarmac. I really do. And I can still feel it. And I'm trying to lift my foot and it's going, yeah, brilliant. Excellent. A great feature. And I'm glad you're enjoying that. And from a different time, isn't it? It's from a different time. And you just see the roads and the faces and those people that have all gone before us. Just really, really good. Really, really good. So anyway, there we go. Hope you enjoyed that feature. And I thought with us taking a summer break, it'd be good. Yeah, good to screen that now as we get towards what would have been, there that time when it would be. Okay, then. Daniel says, fantastic, great feature, says Russet. Brilliant. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Really, really good. Now, how are you doing with 6 of the best? Yes, because before we go for a nosy, interestingly enough, by the way, marking, just a minute, the HDPP register here, by the way, I am marking Mr. Smuggley and Mrs. Smuggley absent. Mr. and Mrs. Kirby absent. Who else is absent? Who isn't here? Shout absent. Right. I know what's going to come now. There's going to be a load of absents come up in the... You wait. You'll get all the absents coming up in the chat room in just a minute. Anyway, but I do appreciate it's a bank holiday. So fair enough. You've got a night off if you're not here, if you know what I mean. Good. Right, 6 of the best, and let's recap through those. Not yet, Dennis. No. This is not the bit where you put the answer in. That's after we've had a nosy. I have to tell the poor soul. Right, here we go. Question number 1. Name of the hot dog man who was in Hinckley Town Centre through the 60s and the 80s. He used to be everywhere. And like I say, used to come out the pub on a Saturday night. Oh, gotta have one of them hot dogs. Those onions smell brilliant. Right. So, what was his name? You can still see him now sitting there with his little transistor radio. Yeah, all those times. Happy days. Question 2. How many months of the year have 28 days in them? Okay, that's our question number 2. And find the words. A BBC TV series of the late 80s, early 90s. Well, what more can I say about it? It was very popular. Very popular. And so is the works of this particular person, even to this day. Stop giving it away, Paul. You know what you like. You're just a sucker for helping people. Okay, question number 4. I want you to name the theme tune. Oh, It's doing your head in now, isn't it? Some of you, it's doing your head in. Oh, what is it? You can see it on the screen. Oh, what was it called? What was it? Oh, damn. So that's Guess the Theme Tune tonight. If you think you know, let me stop it now before we get done. Yeah, there we go. Well, get it ready to put the answer in after we've had the nosy tonight. The little clue to that is this was the launch pad for a particular actor who went on to have his own series on the TV. Just after that, yeah. Oh, stop it! You're giving it away now. Giving the names of these two gentlemen who did the covered the BBC's coverage of the landing on the moon. Yes, they did. They were really good, actually. Fantastic presenters, both of them, both very, very good. But what were their names? That's what I want to know. You might know one or not the other. Yeah. Bit of a teaser there. And the anagram, really easy tonight. Abstracted footwork segmente. Some of the town's oldest heritage. Yeah, that's all we're saying on that. Right. So I hope so far this evening you are doing pretty well on our 6 of the best. Okay then. So Sunday evening it is. And I say with it being so nice and stuff, and it was just lovely, say, to have the doors open and to feel the sun on one's bald head, which I do this time of year, and it was just lovely. Yeah, and when you nip out in the car, have the window down. Simple little pleasures to which we thank the Lord for, actually. Honestly, it was beautiful. Really, really nice to just have that. You have the radio on a little bit, and you go along and think, today's a good day. Today's a good day. Anyway, meanwhile, over in chat room, Dennis Perkins, is it the Holywell London Road? Don't know what planet Dennis is on lately. Don't know. Anyway, we'll move on. Time for a noser. Yeah, Mr. Nosy is here. He's taking us on a nosy afterwards, because according to my notes, which I've got here, this nosy is about 27 minutes long, so it gives me a chance to go and get me tea, come back, and then give you the answers to 6 of the best. It works so well, doesn't it, just? So, with no further ado, let's go for a noser with our Steve, which incidentally, 2 things I must remember to tell you. One, of course, Steve is going to be in Argent's Mead next month with Vinny. And we want to go down as the HDPP. We're going to barrack them. And no, we're not. We're going to give them a lot of support. Look forward to that. And if you, by the way, if you enjoyed these Sunday school treats and you like that sort of thing, a reminder, our sing-along, our St. Mary's sing-along, old school school assembly hymns and songs. That's on Sunday, the 16th of June. So we can go and see go and see Steve sing. Try saying that when you've had a pint. And then a week or so later, we can then all go and sing together. Sunday, the 16th of June. It was great last time. It was really good. And people will tell you, it's just nice, a lovely atmosphere in the church. We sing our hearts out for about 50 minutes, thereabouts. Then we all took into tea and cake. Honestly, it's a great little afternoon. It really is. And I really, really enjoy hosting that particular event for HDPP and the church, because it's just so nice. It really is. Okay, I rabble on. Stop it, Paul. Let's go for a noser.
Hello, hey up and how you diddling? My name is Steve, and once again, it's a great big warm welcome from myself to Let's Explore. Right, got a very special video for you today because we've got Delighted Dave back by popular demand, and we've got these 2 chaps here. We've got a busload of people today. This is Big Phil, the Johnny Cash of Alfreton. How we diddling, mate?
Good, mate.
You'll see quite a bit of Phil in the future, I reckon. He's a lovely chap. This is Nikita. Also, down there doing his intro is Gareth Ike from The Walk. We've also got the pissed up priest here as well, and we've got Rare Rob. And, believe it or not, this chap here is called Aidan, and he's a guide, and he's going to show us around Home Bank Chert Mine in Bakewell. We're really looking forward to this. This is going to be amazing today. Alrighty then, so where we've been sticking our noses in this week then? Well, we're indeed in North Derbyshire, and we've brought you to the pretty town of Bakewell for this week's video. And as delighted Dave rightfully said, he says, we'll come to a beautiful place like Bakewell, and we spend us time under the bloody ground, don't we? But there indeed is lovely Bakewell, which is an amazing place. And do you know what? The scenery around this area is absolutely stunning. You've got Monsaldale up the road, and of course you've got the beautiful River Wye running by this place. In fact, pretty much, a few yards away from the entrance of this mine, you've got a beautiful old packhorse bridge that goes over the River Wye at this point. So it's a beautiful area, so much to see and do, but we've really enjoyed this one today. Right, so let's switch to the National Library of Scotland maps and have a look at this place from above. So this actual mine, as you'll hear Aidan probably talk about in the video, who's our guide of course, it actually never started life as a mine. It actually started as a quarry, but because they didn't really want to rip the countryside up and have big open holes everywhere, they took it beneath the ground. It's a bit like the setup at Holwell in Leicestershire with the ironstone. But I mean, pretty much the actual opening of the mine is literally there where the arrow's pointing. So it's on the outskirts, just to the north of the village of Bakewell, but it was such a great exploration, this was, and to have these, old tramway tub rails still in situ, man, it was incredible. Oh, and we found a boot as well. We found a couple of boots. We got all excited about that, didn't we, Gareth, if you're watching? Yeah. No one would bother if they seen my smelly old boots, do you know what I mean? But we got a bit excited about these ones, hot under the collar.
So we're down here at the bottom. We're going in this bottom level here. The bits marked in blue are probably what we're going to have a look at. So due to the way it was mined, certain areas are unsafe because they'd undercut the rock in order for it to fall down. So some of the areas of the mine we're actually going to avoid.
Alright then, so here we go. So waiting for us directly outside of the mine's entrance, you got the old tramway for the carts. Very exciting. And the door to this place is locked. So as you can see, Aidan is unlocking it, and that is purely to keep, nosy little gits like us out, I suppose. Let's go for a nosy. Looking forward to this. Tell you what, Dave, we're not even in here properly yet, and it looks incredible.
This initial section that we're in is known as Home Hole Mine. So despite it being connected into Home Bank, it was worked separately for a period of time and was owned by Home Hole, which you saw on the way up on the right, the big manor house. So we're going to head down here.
You're a bit too tall, aren't you, Rob?
That's it, yeah.
Brilliant.
Just watch your head on this glass of wood as you go.
Rob, you watch your ankles. Well, the excitement started already. We've got railway sleepers down here, so. Wow, it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I can stand. Amazing.
This has all been put in, hasn't it, like workers?
Yeah.
What do they call them? Deads, don't they?
Yeah, so
Same
all
principle, yeah?
all the waste rock, the stuff they didn't need, they use it to support the roof.
Yeah.
So they call them stack deads. And behind that, it's got a good sort of visual of it here. That's what it would look like, and they'd backfill that with the stack deads. Hold up the roof. And so they don't have to bring it out because it's not very cost effective to do that.
Put together very well, isn't it? Gotta be honest with you folks, this is absolutely amazing. What a privilege today, and to get Aidan as well.
So the primary use of the chert was in earthenware manufacture, grind up the materials. Okay.
Oh, we've got water already.
Yes, yeah. So this this would have been dry at one point, and you can see some of the metalwork where they would have pumped the water out, because it wouldn't fill quickly, it would fill very, very gradually over time. So when they first came here, there would have been water, and they would have de-watered it whilst they were working, and obviously since it's been abandoned, it's filled back up to its natural level. So we were really quite careful, because the water was very cold. We could work our way up, and this is actually a base for cave divers to train or have their first experiences. There's some really crystal clear water down here. This bit is quite nice. And you've also got a lovely hobnail boot, which I've not seen here before.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah,
That was
I've
worth
not
coming
seen
in
that.
here. That was worth the journey just to see that.
I've not seen that in here before, so I don't know if it's been put there.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
That'll be so old.
Didn't they used to leave one shoe when they went up for the last time?
So,
I have heard something like that,
I think
yeah.
they did that in the slate mines. When they
Yeah.
finished their career, they'd leave a shoe.
as I understand it, that is a Welsh thing to do with slate mines. You're quite right.
Right.
I've not encountered that in Derbyshire mines before, but I don't know. Maybe because this was a stone mine, there was a similar association.
We'll leave a welly.
Leave it well, yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, wow, this is...
That is incredible. Amazing. Wow.
So...
You're going to like this bit, Rob.
Oh, mate. Oh, wow. Okay, let me come in so I can get out of your way less. Forward so people can see. Oh. Goodness me.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely
You're right.
beautiful.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Is there a sough here anywhere?
A sough.
Yeah,
like to drain the water.
Yeah.
I don't think so. No. So a sough would be at the bottom of the mine to drain the water out. I believe they pumped the water out of this mine.
Okay. Alrighty then, so at some point during this exploration, I knew somebody was going to ask Aidan whether he'd experienced anything paranormal, you know, seen any ghosts or any strange goings on in any of these mines, because you got to remember he does this on a regular basis. He's a very experienced caver, and it was Dave that asked him the question first.
I'll give you one example. There's a place called Bagshaw Cavern, which is somewhere I regularly take groups into. And the first time I went down there, years and years ago, we crawled through into these dodgy mine workings under the stairs that you go to get in. And I saw someone in front of me, and I thought my friends had played a trick on me. They'd sent me through this little squeeze, and they were waiting for me around the other side, you know, even though they said they were going to follow me through. And, you know, they disappeared off. Appeared into this chamber. It's a dead-end chamber. So I was like, well, who did I just see? Because they couldn't have gone anywhere. Yeah. You know, they've just disappeared. I definitely saw someone wearing a helmet and a head torch in front of me.
Bloody hell.
And when I went into that chamber, there was nobody there. So that was probably the weirdest experience.
Yeah, cheers for this anyway, how you doing?
Oh, my pleasure.
Really much appreciated, buddy.
My pleasure. You're very passionate about these places. The more people I can share them with, the better.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a first for me having a bit of a guided tour around somewhere like this, so I love this. I love the fact that that's still there.
Yeah, there's lots of rails intact.
The old tramway.
Like you can see here, it's bowing in. Like you can see over here, it could come down. Just obviously try and avoid leaning up against it or touching any of the rocks.
When did this originally open? Was it the 1770s?
Yeah, so I think it was 1778. So before that, they were working quarries, but it obliterated the land, and it wasn't very cost effective. So they decided to create mines, because they very quickly ran out of quarry space, and it was, instead of deepening the quarry face, it was more cost effective to create adits into the hillside and haul the rock out that way. So it is technically a quarry, even though we're underground. So there's an argument as to whether it's a quarry or a mine. And you can see here there's some supports up there holding a surety block up there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mind your heads. He says nearly banging his own. This is low down, isn't it? Oh wow, look at that.
So, cool.
think so, I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like an old tipping cart to me, that. Yeah, it is. A bit rusty now, but...
Some wood and chippings and rubbish that have been left here. But it's a good question.
Almost looks like a crapper, that, doesn't it?
Well, you know what this looks like?
And a bucket underneath.
No, this
there.
looks like half of that thing you put your arms and your head in.
Oh, like
stocks.
like a stocks,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
Oh, mate.
I know, look at that. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Aiden's like, well, yeah, I see this every other day, mate. What have we got here then, Aiden?
It's an old
Oh, man.
winch.
Wow.
It still works.
It's not a Victorian tumble dryer then?
No, I mean, you could use it as one. Yeah.
That is beautiful, isn't it?
Youngs of Birmingham.
Oh, it's even got the...
Yeah, have a go. Have a go. It's still got the windlass intact and everything.
I can't believe it still turns. That's incredible, mate. That is unbelievable.
All original.
Amazing.
I don't know if any of it's been refurbished,
No.
but yeah, still works.
Aidan, this is awesome, mate.
Aha! Oh wow!
I know. Oh, you're going to love this, guys, on the left. Trust me.
Mate.
Look at that. On the left, on the left.
Here we
Oh.
go. There's the junction.
Yeah.
And
So
there's
we are taking the left here.
Good man. Good choice.
Good
Good choice. Do
You'll be happy to
The
know.
down there's cool, but that is awesome.
you want to push, Gaz?
Oh, does it move?
Oh, don't tell me the
what?
wheels still turn. Get out of here. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still. That would have held the box on.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe the wheels still turn. You've been down here with WD-40, haven't you? Before we got here. You must have done.
That's incredible.
Plus it's dry, isn't it? It's not a wet.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Dave,
There are people who look after the stuff down
that's that's pretty much the same. The wheel. This. Yeah, I know the ones we pulled out of the water. Unbelievable. I can't believe this. I can't believe that. Unbelievable.
So if you like, we can go down to Smithy level to the second entrance, then come back up this way just so you've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, super.
Oh, this is a bit low now, this one. So this is really low down now.
Now.
Yeah, I know. Me eye that's skimming the actual roof, Phil. So, God knows how Rob's getting on. He's taller than I am. Oh, it's opening up a bit now.
Steve, mate.
Hey, what we got?
At the moment, Alexis is about to happen, I think.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we've got Gandhi's flip-flop. Wow, another hobnail boot. That's amazing.
It is.
That's incredible.
They look tiny though, don't they?
Look at that.
Size-wise.
Yeah, look at that.
People were malnourished compared to how we are today back then, so their feet would be a lot smaller.
Do you know what amazes me though? You know, we say things like that, but when we say about being malnourished, etc.,
Yeah.
how can you really be malnourished when you're coming down here chipping away at rock?
Well,
You wouldn't have the energy, would you? Surely.
it's such a good point. You know, like we think about what they did back then, and I don't. It's hard to think of anyone who'd have that level of fitness and that resolve to
Exactly.
put themselves through that every day. And yet we do consider them to be malnourished. I mean, maybe it's a mental thing, or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I say, you can't help but think you're fib tube sometimes about this stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. I mean, I think, Phil, they must have had some Bombay bad boy pot noodles down here.
Oh yeah,
I reckon we're going to find one on the side in a bit from 1866.
yeah.
No, that's amazing, mate. Well spotted. Yeah.
Called the gang or refuse material behind it.
Yeah, there is a good bulge there, mate.
Or it could also be the roof compressing it down and sort of forcing it out.
Well, there's some weight, isn't there, above us? I mean, blooming heck. It's frightening when you think of it. I mean,
I try not to think about it. that gets in my head, that does.
I never said a word, Gaz.
Mate, the weight must be insane.
I never said a word.
Fortunately, everywhere we're going today gets inspected by one of Her Majesty's Mines inspectors, so
All right.
we are quite safe.
That's quite a big garage. I'm surprised you're not bottling it with that.
Yeah.
That one.
I've got to show off in front of Aidan, haven't I?
See again?
Got to show off in front of Aidan. I can't show him me legging it.
It's a big one.
So the whole mine if none of this stuff was here, would be a huge open cavity, and it would collapse in on itself because it would just collapse under its own weight.
So how long do we think this stonework's been here?
So over 100 years, I'd say. Obviously, the older stuff is towards the entrances, and the newer stuff we're going into, because as time went on, the deeper they got into the mine, then we'll end up at the working phase where they were last working.
That mark of all the sleepers on the floor is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are these dynamite plugs, these?
Let's have a look. No, that's for surveyors.
All right.
So you can see we've got the where they painted there, and so they'll stand at one of these and they'll look to the next one, which will be that piece of orange string, and they calculate what you call the L rod, left, right, up and down, the distance between the two stations.
All right. Okay.
And that's how they create the survey, the scale model of the mine. So yeah, this is the one where the walls really do bow in quite a bit.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Beautiful.
And we should be able to see a chain hanging down in a moment.
Oh wow.
I know. Ain't it amazing, eh? Look at this. Jeez Louise. You just look at the walls, how they're just... Look at these blocks here.
I mean, will this, you know, will it come in eventually? I mean, hopefully not today.
Yeah, hopefully not today.
No. Hundreds of years' time, maybe. Yeah.
Right.
We'll all start collapsing, you know, eventually.
I'll just make sure I'm not on a tour in 100 years' time down here.
I think the difference with caves and mines is mines were built by humans for the purpose of extracting the mineral or material
Wow.
that they wanted. They weren't necessarily built to last huge amounts of time.
So what would that have been used for, that chain there?
I don't know. If I was to guess, it would perhaps be for winching stuff onto the carts, but that's a guess.
Oh yes, of course, yeah. I mean, would they have had horses down here, or would it just be men pushing the tubs up and down these?
It would have been men, and then later compressed air.
Look at this here, eh? Wow, just being held up by that.
You can see there's a big sort of fault going across here, some more calcification as well. So of course we don't touch these bits of wood because
Jesus. Look at this. I mean, wow. I mean, there's some weight above my head here. It's incredible, to say the least. To say the least. Unbelievable, isn't it, Rob?
yeah. Do you know where we are?
No. Somewhere under Bakewell, I think. But just look here, Rob, how the old sleepers are still here, look, rotting.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
What we got then, Aidan? What we got?
Dynamite, bore.
Oh,
Yeah. So I think it's got quite an interesting story. I'd imagine that this would have been bored out for a stick of dynamite potentially, and after it's been blasted, that very piece of rock has been used as a refuse material, the pack wall.
yeah.
So you know it's had a bit of a journey to get there and had its uses.
I see what you mean. I think I just seen one up there actually when me and Rob were
Oh, brilliant!
up front. I think I did anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
This is the working face, yeah. So this is the there's a name for it. There's a lower bed of limestone. There's a layer of chert which is up here,
Yeah.
and then there's another bed of limestone, and then there's the top layer of chert which is slightly more flinty, perhaps not as good quality. So the way they would have worked is they'd have taken all this out to undermine the chert, carved out the block that they wanted, and then it would have been supported by stemples built up from the rocks, like stone pillars. And then when they were ready, they would have blasted those stone pillars, let the block fall, and then chop up that block in situ into smaller 3-ton pieces, and then those would have been brought out on the carts.
So basically
this is
then,
where they were last working.
so yeah, so this working face then is pretty much where they finished up and got the best of the mineral they could in this area of the mine, basically.
So are there boreholes there then?
There's
for dynamite.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
see,
this is the start of some. They not go all the way in. they certainly started to look at it.
Yeah.
There.
So someone started doing that, and then the gaffer has gone, oh, no, we're done, mate.
It's not to do with the quality of the rock. They could have kept going. It's just to do with who actually wants it. You know, what's the demand, and they just eventually there just wasn't the demand for it. Obviously, we can't go under there.
It's so dangerous.
Yeah, and this is what I mean about them undermining the rock, and then they start to build up these stone pillars.
Yeah.
And then underneath there, you can see that is right to the end of the mine there. So they obviously started working on this section, but it just never got finished.
Oh wow! So we can't go any further down that way. So you got the working face on your left, as Aidan's just pointed out. He just said, "Don't go any further than them rocks there." So we're not going to. But that regularly collapses down there, and you can see it, can't you? You can see loose boulders and what have you, etc. everywhere. So probably send you in though, Dave.
Oh, cheers.
Okay. Crikey! Imagine spending your working days down here, mate.
I know.
Bit different to old Brenda on the checkout at Tesco Express, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Quite.
Very uneasy this bit, isn't it?
Oh, mate.
Look at that.
That to me is insane, that that's holding that up.
I know.
Is that literally holding up the roof?
Yes.
I was hoping he was going to laugh at me and go, of course not.
Ow! Oh shit! I just fell into it. Wow! I can't believe. Look at this. This is holding up the frigging roof. That is absolutely mad. So don't do what I just did and fall into one.
That's crazy.
What a place! What an exploration!
It's almost like sleep.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? How it's falling away. Christ! On a bike.
That was the rock that Aslan died on, wasn't it?
The rock that Aslan died on.
Didn't the rock crack in half in my original wardrobe?
So we won't go any further, but I just wanted to show you where these rocks have come away.
Right. Oh goodness. Ow. Jesus. So yeah, these have come away. Crikey, look at the seam there.
You can see how loose it is up there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hence we don't go that way.
No, that could just come down, couldn't it?
Good. Yeah.
Wow.
What were you saying about your life insurance, Gareth? Worth much?
I'm worth more dead, mate, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Where are we now then, mate? On the drawing.
Somewhere along here, so we don't go that way.
Okay.
Go back that way a little bit.
Okay, okay. You just wanted to bring us up here for an extra workout, didn't you?
Yeah, of course.
Look at that. Bloody hell. Look how it's bowing here.
Oh mate, there's been a collapse here as well.
Yeah, yeah. Ain't they just?
Goodness me. So these, I mean, you can see where the wood's rotted. These were sleepers, and then there's just been a huge collapse.
Yeah, it has.
Fell in from the left, didn't it? Yeah.
The wall bows enough, and all the refuse comes out like this.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, and imagine over a gradual period of time, but even so, you know, something that size is enough to cause you a lot of damage, isn't it?
Right, on his way back out into daylight now. I tell you what, it looks like a nice day, to be fair. Was when we got here, that's for sure. Oh, it's beautiful out here.
Yeah. A bit brighter than in there.
Amazing.
isn't it?
Cheers for that, buddy.
Absolute pleasure. Glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, amazing, mate. Right, before we go, we're on his way up this steep hill here to look at an old crane that used to pick up 3-ton blocks, apparently. They were 3-ton, weren't they? A lot of them.
Yes, yeah, 3-ton blocks. Maybe a little bit smaller, some of them.
And here it is. Ain't that amazing? Look at that. So there you go. So that's amazing. And that is still in situ. And I do know that because I did read it online the other day, so.
And that is actually one of the entrances over here.
That's amazing.
What?
Oh, so you can get into the mine there?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's an entrance to the mine there, one of them.
knew the crane were there.
That's amazing.
Seems like the hook on it.
Yeah.
We're just sort of sharing the commentary, aren't we? I like that.
It's good, isn't it?
To me, to you.
Yeah, to me, to you, to me, to you. What a beautiful day. What an amazing exploration as well. Absolutely fantastic. Out with your mates, Dave, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Absolutely fantastic, mate.
Absolutely.
I'm in my
amazing.
element.
Big Phil, nice to have you out, mate.
Yeah,
First time at Let's Explore, you'll be out on plenty more. Stephen,
Right.
absolutely fantastic.
Great explore.
Oh,
Brilliant.
amazing.
Absolutely brilliant.
Amazing. Rob, great to have you out again, mate.
Yeah, always.
Amazing. Always nice to have you here. Nikita, nice to see you again, buddy. Great stuff. Nikita, there you go. And Aidan, absolutely amazing, buddy.
My pleasure.
Cheers for that.
My absolute
Thanks a
pleasure.
lot.
Glad you enjoyed it.
What a chap. What a chap. I'm going to get your email address off you, mate. Because
Absolutely.
he knows some very interesting places. Yeah, brilliant. You saved me a lot of time. I didn't have to research anything, really. So, you know, amazing down there. Right, I'm not going to disturb him too much because he's flying his drone. But Gareth, great to see you again, buddy.
Playing Pokemon, mate.
Playing Pokemon? Oh, yeah. There you go. You see, you heard it here first. Amazing. Right, we'll see you at the next one very soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
And there we have our nosy. Well done, Steve. I missed most of that. I was sent to the kitchen to get the tea. So I'll have to watch that later, but it did look good. So I usually do sit and watch, but there we go. Yeah, great nosy as always, and Steve will have more for us, of course, next week, and we'll also be able to build up a bit of a backlog of new noses while we're away on our summer break. So you won't miss any because you can still go to Let's Explore directly. That'll be fine. I don't think Steve's in the chat room tonight. It surprised me tonight, actually. It seems a lot of people struggling with the anagram. No, I thought it was a dead gift. I really thought, oh, that's far too easy. Obviously not. Now, this is the part where I have to... Just a bit, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Dennis, this is the bit where you can put your answers in. All right? Yeah, okay. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I have to just remind him. Okay, then. So if you are ready, 6 of the best, we're going to give you your answers. Remember, don't put your answer in until I'm at the relevant question. Don't give me the answer to question 5 when I'm only on question 2 because it gets very confusing. And if you've got a slow internet connection, it gets even more confusing. So here we go. I'm going to nearly click the wrong button then. So here we go. What was the name of the hot dog man in Hinckley Town Centre through the 60s and 80s? Everybody knows it. He was just a local legend, really. So I know a lot of you would know this, but so I'm just waiting for you to punch it in, and we'll say yes. Dave B, well done. Dave, well done. It's not very often you do the local ones very well, yeah. Don the hot dog man. Yeah. Oh dear. Dennis Perkins says Don Summit. Yeah, go on, I'll give you that. Yes, yeah. It's Don, yeah. His actual name is Don Jones. But I will accept Don the hot dog one. Or Don the hot dog man. I will accept that. That's good, yes. Or Dan the man. I hadn't quite heard of Dan the man, but however, there you go. That's from Little Jane. But yeah, Don the hot dog man. Yeah, Don was, he was always into different things. He was also Hinckley's very first traffic warden. You may have seen the photographs of him. We posted, many months ago now, but he was the very first official traffic warden as well, you see. But I think he found more, he could sell more hot dogs and tickets. I thought that was quite good. That just suddenly come to me. I thought, no, Mrs. G said, get on with it. Okay, so it was Don Jones. Or Don the hot dog man. Right then. Question number 2. Checking how many people got this one. How many months of the year have 28 days in them? Let's see who's going to come up with the right answer first. Somebody's got to, otherwise we'll be stuck here. All right, yeah. Russet comes in with 12. She says 12. Dennis Perkins, they all have 28 days in, so 12, all of them. Yeah, you see, I was trying to do a subtle one there, but there's no fooling you lot. Look at you, all of them. Yeah, well done. You're quite right. Every month has got 28 days in them, usually. But what about February when it's 27 then? That's just suddenly occurred to me. Anyway, we'll move on anyway, because, oh yes, that's right, yes, because 28 days, yeah, I'm knocking an extra day off February for a minute there. Well, you know what, with government cutbacks, who knows? Anyway, onwards we go. What now? I want you to name the TV series of the late 1980s, early 90s. This was very popular. Russ it straight in with it, as is Dangerous Den. Their answers coming in, and Jane's on the ball as well. And the answer being My Family and Other Animals. David S. gets it right, as does Jeff Wallace. Oh, it's too easy tonight. You can all be smug tonight, you know. Mr. Smugly is not in tonight, right? Just bear that in mind. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't know our next bit for our Guess the Theme tune. This is what I've been playing you all night, but can you identify it? Now is the time to put the answer in the box. While it's playing, what is this the theme from? It was very big, late 60s, and maybe early 70s as well. It launched the career of an actor. Jeff Wallace, Thunderbirds. No, it's not Thunderbirds, Jeff. Oh, Dennis says, I have no idea of the theme tune. Now, you see, Mr. Smugly would be there going, well, I know this because I work at Myra. No, it's not Thunderbirds. No, mate. I understand. I can sort of see a little bit why you're thinking Thunderbirds. Now, I better give you the lowdown on this bit of music then. Nobody else having a go, I don't think. This launched the career of no other than the gentleman known as Peter Wyngarde. Now, you know Peter Wyngarde, yeah? Well, he had his own TV series called Jason King. Well, Jason King actually started in this particular programme. David S., well done, congratulations, you've got it right. Department S. Now, Department S was like an investigative unit, if you like, and Peter Wyngarde, I better stop it now, Peter Wyngarde was one of the team, if you like, and he was already got his big moustache, and he got his turn back cuffs and all the rest of it, and then they went on to make a series called Jason King. So it was like a spin-off from Department S, but with that character. So Dave S, I am very, very pleased to say you've got that tonight. Well done, Department S. Daniel Kirby, never heard of it. Right, what I want you all to do now is go on to type Department S. David S. It was crap. Go on to Google or wherever, and just type Department S. Yeah, that's probably why they didn't make another series, mate. But you'll see it. It was in the lines of, you know, it was made by the same people who made The Saint, The Champions, and all that sort of thing. So that's where it won, and it's got that sort of feel about it. So Department S, I think there was probably only one series of it. That's probably why a lot of you haven't heard of it. But like I say, it's Peter Wyngarde that people would know from it, as went on to his own little thing. Right, we'll move on because I've said enough. Now, these two gentlemen here who covered the moon landings in the 1960s and 1970s, brilliant TV presenters, and but can you name them both? I want both their names. And Anne Hunt comes straight in with the first one. James Burke and Cliff Mitchellmore. Yes, Jane as well. You've got it right. Well done, Jane. Russet got it right as well. Well, Carol got Cliff Mitchellmore, and Jeff Wallace got James Burke, Cliff Mitchellmore. Yeah, well done. Yeah, you've got that. Somebody with Cliff Mitchellmore, says Dangerous Den. Sorry, no, says Daniel. Daniel, I'm surprised. Which I must remember to tell you that Dangerous, next time you come down to Hinckley to one of our socials, Dangerous Den wants a word with you. Yes, true, it is. So I said, I will put you both in touch when you come down next time. Okay, right. On to the anagram. Now, has anybody got this? Because I thought this was too... Honestly, I'm not winding you. I thought, too easy. I thought, if I give them a clue of some of the town's oldest heritage, so that sort of gives you an idea. That whittles it down a lot. Some of the oldest heritage in the town, top of the head. Dave B said, Argentsmead, Castlemoat, guess. No, it's nothing like that. So I thought, right, after the church, right, because that's obviously some of the oldest heritage in the town, of course. There's the Unitarian Chapel, or the Great Meeting Chapel. That's also old, so it's not Atkins or anything like that. I did say there is a street in there, and I did put Bond Street, and I think of something else older. Yes, if you try Framework Cottages Bond Street, that would have got you. No, it's not a pub either. You see, I haven't done a pub for a while. I maybe ought to do that again. The answer, Framework Cottages, Bond Street. That's what I was looking for your anagram this evening. No one got it. No one's smug on that. So no one tonight has got 6 of the best. But I would love to see put your scores up. Show me, you show me yours, I'll show you mine. Okay, then. Let's see how many people have got. What's the scores tonight? I think some people have probably got 4 and 5s. Let's just see what we've got. Excuse me while I cough. I don't normally do that on air. Very unprofessional. Right, David S. 4 for me. And if I'm allowed Don as the first answer, yeah, go on, you can have Don for that. Russet says 3 tonight. 1 from David Allen. Alan Crop 5. Pa! We got 2, and only just thank you for a great evening. Oh, bless you, Alan, because he's always off early, you know. Jane says I've got 3 tonight, 3 for Jeff Wallace tonight, and 3. Oh, right. And 1. Yes, but that's the best one, isn't it? Dave B 2. Leicester City 3. Daniel Coburn said, cheers, Dennis. I will come and see you when I'm next over. Absolutely. 1.5. Only Carol can get 1.5. Well done, Carol. That's because she couldn't think of the other guy's name on the picture round. Yeah. 2 for me, says Daniel, and Queen Bee has got herself with a 4. Well done. It's been fun tonight. So what I want you to do is also, as I say, by the time we get to the end of May and we take our little holiday, I'll be interested in what you get up to on a Sunday night. What whilst I'm away, and then you can tell me all about it in the autumn. But anyway, there you go. Anyway, good to have your company tonight. Thank you very much for joining me, and we'll be back next Sunday night, and we'll do it all over again. But I can't do it without you. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel because it does help with the antibiotics. Analytics and things like that. So until next week, take care. Thank you for being with us. Keep it live. Keep it HDPP. Good night. Oh, hello, here we go again. The last part of the programme we always do. We never talk about this in the main programme. I always like to try to make people laugh and have a smile because I think laughter is very important in life. And so I started doing this at the end. A few dad jokes some of them aren't even dad jokes. They're quite good, actually. And we had quite a response. To last week's when we were doing toilet jokes. So I thought I'd carry on a bit of a theme because there's some good ones here. And I thought I've got to do them because they're so funny. So here we go. If you're all sitting ready, I'm going to give you some examples. They're not bad. They're not bad. I quite like these. Talk about dirty jokes. They probably would be. Now, did you hear about the constipated countdown player? He wanted another bowl. countdown. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the toilet? Because it has a silent P. You see? Late one evening, Ted's wife catches him pouring 6 cans of lager down the toilet. What are you doing that for? She asks. Well, it seems a waste, but I thought I'd save me getting up in the middle of the night. Love this one. Hi, you're through to the incontinence hotline. Can you hold, please? And finally, imagine the scene. A little boy asks his daddy where poo comes from. Daddy explains, well, food in the mouth is chewed into small lumps which are then swallowed. They pass through the esophagus and the hiatus sphincter and into the stomach. The food is churned up in the stomach where the digestive enzymes produce a probiotic reaction to the alimentary canal to extract protein before the waste products are propelled into the small intestine and descend via the colon and rectum and emerge as poo. Wow, Dad, that's amazing, exclaims the little boy. And what about Tigger? Brilliant, good night.